and Wellbeing Committee, Councillor Buchanan, any questions? Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I asked the Chair of the Families and Wellbeing Policy and Performance Committee. Given the range and scope of the Families and Wellbeing Policy and Performance Committee, including the entire education service, all of adult essential services, and the fact that we are at some point imminently, I believe, to conduct a review of the constitutional and government changes, could I ask her if she believes its current composition and frequency of meetings is commensurate with the vital role it needs to play in holding the administration to account for its activities in safeguarding children and adults?
Councillor Clements, would you like to respond? Oh, sorry. Just before you do.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, I wasn't actually going to ask the question before. Councillor Clements will be aware that I asked this question of the Director of Public Health with regard to the Council's policy on electronic cigarettes, as I gave up smoking 6 weeks ago. I was just wondering if she's had the opportunity to ask any further questions.
Councillor Clements.
Oh, no, sorry, I wasn't anticipating that I was going to declare an interest in my appointment in that question because I'm not taking part.
Okay, that's noted. Councillor, would you like to respond to those two questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Safeguarding of adults and children is one of those really key things that this council does, or any council does, isn't it? And I would have to say that I think it's not just me, but other members of the committee are very concerned about the width of the remit that we have to cover within our committee. If you think about the last municipal year, there was a scrutiny committee looking at the children and young people's department, which met 6 times and twice to consider the budget proposals. If you consider that there was also a committee looking at health and well-being, which met 6 times and twice to look at budget proposals. This year, the committee which I am chairing has 6 meetings scheduled in the diary, for which 2 are about budget proposals. I don't see how we can be doing the job that we all want to do, to hold the administration to account, to satisfy all elected members that we're doing a good job. And by the way, we also scrutinise leisure, which neither of those, the leisure portfolio, neither of those. In regard to e-cigarettes, I had an interesting conversation when I was attending the 2nd annual council what's it called? Conference, that's the word I'm looking for. The table where I was sat, we were discussing these matters with public health colleagues. So there are no definitive answers at the moment because there is no evidence. I think that's what I've got to so far. But I'm sure we can, as I promised at the time, continue to keep it on the agenda.
Thank you very much. Councillors now invited to note that report. Moving on to Regeneration Environment Committee, Councillor Vicar. Any questions? No? Thank you. Council invited to note that report. I agree. Transformational Resources Committee, Councillor Whitney. Any questions? Yes, Councillor Vicar.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Given my concerns and the concerns of residents who I speak to over the IT problems the council continues to have, particularly with email, could I ask the chair of the committee to bring forward a report that deals with the council email system with direct regard to elected members and the consistency and reliability of the service?
Would you like to respond to that, Councillor?
Good afternoon, sir. Councillor.
Yes. Yes, the answer is yes. Okay. Councillors invited to note that report. That's great. Matters for noting, financial monitoring report. Somebody like to move? Agreed. Move on to item 8, general questions of members to either myself, Chair of the Committee, or members on matters that affect the borough, or which relate to the council. Notice has been given by standing orders following Order 10(2)(b), the following. A question from Councillor Gilchrist, the leader.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a question to the leader of the council. With regard to the what really matters consultation, first, what work is being done on the responses as they are received? Second, is an analysis presented to the leader? Third, should not members receive regular updates on the concerns and issues being raised? And fourth, why not such summaries inform the work of the policy and performance committees in the coming weeks? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. Can I thank Councillor Gilchrist for notice of this question. Very briefly, in response to each of the questions, first of all, what work is being done on the responses as they are received to what really matters? Consultation responses are being analysed as they are received, and to date we've had some 4,600 responses back, which is a really good response given that we've still got a number of weeks for consultation to run. Online responses are directly added into a database, with paper questionnaires being manually inputted by council officers into the same database. These responses are analysed according to geographic and demographic data, and promotional and engagement activity for coming days and weeks is tailored based on the results, in an effort to make sure when the consultation closes on the 6th of December, the final sample is as representative of the rural population as a whole. Secondly, is an analysis presented to the leader. Yes, I have received regular updates on the consultation as it has progressed, focusing on the overall response levels and the geographic and demographic breakdown of the response. This information was also shared with both yourself and Councillor Green at the Leaders Board last Friday, as you will recall, no doubt. Question 3, should not members receive regular updates on concerns and issues being raised? As I mentioned, consultation is not yet closed. Therefore, I believe it would be inappropriate to use the ongoing feedback to guide discussions or decisions. All of the feedback, comments and concerns which have been raised throughout this process will be presented to Cabinet as part of the budget setting process in December, once everyone in Wirral has had the opportunity to have their say and take part in the consultation. Furthermore, I believe that releasing consultation feedback information during the consultation period could have the impact of skewing the feedback going forward and could potentially lead to the council being subject to legal challenge when decisions are based on that data. I think most importantly, people taking part were not informed that the feedback will be published before the end of the process. And your fourth question, might not such summaries inform the work of the policy and performance committees in the coming weeks? Council officers will be in attendance at every policy and performance committee over the coming weeks, and particularly obviously committees that are having a special meeting on the budget options. And those officers will be able to provide members with answers to any questions on the budget options they may have when those meetings take place. However, again, I repeat, I believe it would be inappropriate to share consultation results and feedback and comments until the consultation process has been completed. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Move on to item 9, matters referred from policy and performance. We are requesting that the council reaffirm its commitment to the training and support of the elected members. Is that agreed? Agreed. Item 10, notice of motion. There are 2 notices of motion to be made. The first one is tackling financial exclusion, proposed by Councillor Bill.
Sorry, I've got an amendment I'd like to move to that motion on tackling financial exclusion. I have copies which will be circulated whenever you are agreeable. Thank you, Mr.
Right, to move this and second it.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I've also got an amendment, and we have an amendment we'd like to move with regards to the Treasury and Tax motion. So if so what I was trying to help you, if at some point you're going to ask the council to adjourn to look at those, it would seem to make sense to let everyone look at that amendment also. The council.
Thank you for that. I've jumped ahead of myself in relation to this. The actual part of the notice of the motion I should have said was the motions to be dated are the ones relating to tackling financial exclusion by Stuart Carey, and the second one was bedroom tax by Councillor Phil Davis. We now know there's going to be an amendment. With regard to the notice of motion in relation to improving rural sites and jobs, I prefer that one to go back to the select committee and move that with there. So moving on to the first one, motion to be debated, tackling financial exclusion. And I ask to move in the second.
Are you asking me at this stage to formally move it?
Correct.
An amendment. Because that's why I'm on the feet to the two movers of amendments. So would it really have killed it to let us have copies of it at 5 o'clock when the group meetings took place earlier today, so that we could have considered an amendment and foregone the need for...
Stuart, before you carry, can I just say, it's an issue that I have realised with the new constitution that we have, and we've all adopted. This is the system we have to live with. This is something that needs to be addressed and looked at again by all three parties, because as soon as we start to get into items of debate, we get into a situation where we're having to abort the council for a short period of time for members to read this. But I'm asking members now to go back into their own groups, review this point, and come back with some sort of recommendation for a modification to the standing orders. As it stands at the moment, we've got to deal with the issues as they are in front of us. So first of all, Stuart, you move and second it, and then we'll have an amendment to that particular one. So moved. Seconded. Seconded. Okay. You've got amendments to that.
Yeah, I've got an amendment which is ready to be circulated, so I'm happy to formally move that, Mr. Mayor.
I do know that. Sorry. Yeah. I do know that we've got an amendment for the second debate, but we will be dealing with the first debate first.
Yeah.
Thank you very kindly. We will allow you to show your amendment for the second debate. And we will take both together, and I will say we shall have 10 minutes adjournment so that members can decipher both the amendments. If there's any copies left over, we
invite them to circulate that before the weekend.